Hey, real quickly before I get started with the actual video, I'm inserting this because if you're watching this video anytime before June 8th of 2023, I'm currently running a giveaway to celebrate recently hitting 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't checked out that link and entered, but you would like to win a free doll, be sure to check out the description. I've put the link there and you can enter all the way up till 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on June 7th. Good luck, and let's get back to the video. Hi everyone, this is Kristie with AG Takes Over. I'm glad you're here. I am going to make this kind of short-ish, the intro anyway, so that we can get into the fun stuff. This is actually the third video on this topic. First one was me asking you all for advice. I said, hey, I have a Truly Me 55. She represents me as a child, so she's kind of a childhood mini-me. And here's her backstory. I really like her, but I also want an adult mini-me. So should I take her wig off and then I could like switch it back and forth? And the advice was overwhelmingly and wisely, no, leave her as she is. Why don't you just get another Truly Me 55 and make a second mini-me? Don't have to tell me twice. So the second video was me giving you an update about how that was going. And it was going not so well because the Truly Me 55 I bought turned out to not be a Truly Me 55. And the big sticking point about that was she had lined eyebrows, not feathered. And I did not want that. So I decided I would look into working with a customizer and see if they could remove the line eyebrows and do something that was more true to my face. While I was doing that, I started working on the checklist of things that I needed to do. So I'm going to show you how it all has come together, and I am over the moon about this doll. So excited for her reveal at the end. But please watch the whole thing, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. I would love for you to join me regularly for future videos. All right, so one thing that I was thinking about is how do I mimic the tattoos? I have one on my upper left arm that is intricate enough. For now, I'm just going to hold off on it. I don't see a way that I can mimic it, but I do have this one, which is, that's how it looks to me when I hold out my arm, so it is upside down to me, but whatever, a 5. And you can see that it's been there a while. It's kind of faded. And so my initial thought was some kind of sticker. These were the best I could find at Joann, and I really didn't feel like going to 27 stores and stressing out about it because as authentic as I want this to be, like I just don't want it to be stressful. So yeah, I feel like that 5 is close enough in size. So like, yeah, that feels realistic. I mean, it feels to scale, but they're like crisp. And if I put that number on there, it's going to be like, la, really, really obvious. So here's my thought. Take the sticker off, cut this little piece out and use it as a stencil, and maybe use something like, well, here's what I grabbed. Some of my pastels and some watercolor pencils. And I think between the two of those, I should be able to get it like a dark kind of grayish, maybe charcoal that'll look faded like my tattoo is. If we're going to go realistic, like let's try and do it. So give me a second to set that up and we'll see if I'm right. Well, the good news is, look, there are 2 sheets. So if I mess up, I've got another opportunity. So there we go. And that is with the sticker taken out. Now I just got to place it on her arm. All right, so I think that's about as good as I can get it. It isn't exactly to scale, right? And I knew this. It's a little bigger than I'd want it, but like I said, I just don't want it to be, I think that's good enough. So, did I do it wrong? I totally did it wrong. All right, after that little hiccup, I'm a genius. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. All right, that's pretty good. And I'm not sealing it, so if I ever find a sticker that's closer to this, maybe a little smaller, it kind of has this little rounded part, I can always take this off and redo it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. She's coming along, and I've already made a ring. This was just a little jump ring with a rhinestone on it, but I think it's a better fit than the very large bands that AG usually uses for their rings. So here they are side by side. You can see them a little better. Not a total match, obviously, but I don't think I can create that level of detail at a doll size, so I'll take it. I did decide I wanted to do just a little bit better with the tattoo, so I went back in and used the watercolor pencil and made the little rounded part at the end of the 5, and I am thrilled with this at this point, like thrilled. So that's 2 things down. Let's jump over to something that was not within my control, the doll's head. Some of you know that I bought this doll thinking I was getting another Truly Me 55. It turns out it was a rewigged and I swapped either 23 or 24. Who knows? The owner thought she was selling me a 55, whatever. I decided to send the head off to a customizer because I didn't want the lined eyebrows. The customizer was fantastic, like patient beyond my expectations. I've never worked with a customizer for something like this. And she was so communicative, sent me pictures throughout, knew that I kind of knew the backstory and wanted to guarantee I was happy. So she sent me this picture, was just hilarious of, dolls look really weird when they don't have any eyebrows. And then this was the first attempt. And these eyebrows are gorgeous, but it was a definite absolutely not for me because they don't look like my eyebrows at all. They're a lot fuller than mine are, a lot more feathered at the tops. So I asked her permission to share this sequence of, progress pictures and videos. So the next attempt was this, which was way lighter, way less full. I felt like in terms of sparsity or, how much of a focal point the eyebrows were, this was closer. But we both agreed those little peaks are giving kind of Nikki and Isabel mean girl eyebrows, and that is not something I have. So she took some off, took some of that peak off. I think this was definitely where I felt like, okay, I'm starting to trust this process. We're on the right track. If you can make the other one look exactly like that, we're good to go. And symmetry is hard. So she sent this picture on the left, and I sent it back and said, okay, the one on her right is kind of shorter, and the one on the left on her left goes a little more down, and it's a little more pointed at the end. And I really don't care which one, but can we make them like more similar? And this is where she landed. And these are perfect. When I made the video about, I didn't actually buy a Truly Me 55 like I was told. Some people said, hey, I hope the customizing works out. And who knows, maybe it'll be a blessing in disguise. And when I looked at this, I was like, it absolutely was. This is going to be so much more of a personalized and accurate mini me than Truly Me 55's eyebrows ever could have been. So, while I was looking at this, though, I was kind of thinking, well, now her eyebrow or her freckles, I'm starting to think if we're going for real accuracy here, that's not my freckles anymore. I had those really prominent freckles as a kid, but they've also faded, like my tattoo and everything else. They've also kind of faded. So maybe what I'll do is partially remove them, but just to lighten them up, and then I'll add some like on other spots on her face. And about the time I was thinking that, the customizer messaged me again and said, "Hey, while we're chatting, um, I'm thinking about these freckles," and we were exactly on the same page. And she was like, "If you want," and the price was really reasonable to add that service. So I was like, "Yes, you by all means do it." So she took all the freckles off. I sent a whole bunch of pictures, as many pictures as she was sending me, I was sending her so that she had good references. And I sent her, different angles of my face. And I said, they're really more around my hairline and a little smattering across my nose. And let's be honest, they now look like age spots slash sunspots slash whatever you want to call them, more than like kid freckles. So here's what she came up with. And yes, before I give you the like 360-degree tour, the wig did come off. She said, "Hey, so I know you were planning on removing that wig. Ta-da, I already did it. I tugged on it and it just came off. So yay, the wig is intact, and that's good because it's a gorgeous, really nice quality wig, and I was hoping I could use it for other dolls. And I think that having the wig off probably let her get a little closer to the hairline and is going to make this even more realistic. So here it is from all different angles. And I will be honest, this was a good opportunity for me to take stock of all of the ageist messages our society has taught me over the course of my lifetime. And with all due respect, chuck them aside and embrace these age spots because that's what my face looks like. All right, next up, I was going to tackle earrings or slash gauges, hair, and nose ring, not necessarily in that order. So we're going to start with the wig. I picked this one up from Muzi on Amazon, which was the first and only so far time I'd ever gotten a wig from Amazon and from this brand. It's not exactly like my hair. I'm not lucking out and finding anything that's exactly like my hair because my hair is straight, and sometimes I spike it up and sometimes I let it grow out a little. So I probably will end up with a few different wigs. But anyway, this one was also way thicker than my hair is going to be. So I just kind of thinned it out. Here's a quick look at my trash can afterwards. All right. So after thinning that out a bit, here's her hair. It's still thicker than mine is. I mean, let's be real. An aftermarket doll wig is not going to compare with a 44-year-old's hair. But I did thin it out so it's not so poofy here. And it's not exactly like my hair, but that's exactly the reason that I'm not going to glue it down. And the next thing I wanted to draw your attention to are her gauges. Just a second. There we go. I don't know if the sizing is perfect. I had like a mini hole punch and a regular hole punch. And the regular hole punch was so big that it was going to be coming off the lobe, so obviously not good. The mini hole punch doesn't make them look much bigger than regular AG earrings, so I don't know if I really get the effect. I am happy with how they look, if I can get that clear enough. There we go. So they are wood grain contact paper. So I think that's pretty spot on as far as the color of mine. And then next up, let's get her ready for her nose piercing. So I've got a bunch of jump rings. I've got these packs of 4, 6, and 8 millimeter. And I can't remember what I used the last time I did a nose piercing. So I'm going to just go with the middle one. And I just happen to have a hemostat with me, but you could use any kind of pliers, and open it up so that it resembles, if you have a nose ring, you'll know this, the shape of a more typical nose ring. Sorry. There we go. And then my next very fancy tool is a thumbtack. And I'm not going to mess up on her nose piercing like I did on her tattoo initially. So it's on my left, it's going on her left. I'm not going to mess this up. Give me a second to mark it, or at least kind of eyeball it. All right, I think I figured out where I want it. Take some pressure. Perfect. There we go. She's all done. Just kidding. Let me take it out and get the earring in. Okay, on second thought, I feel like the 6 millimeter is too big, so I'm sizing down to the 4 millimeter. Let me try that. All right, there we go. That's better. Okay, another thing that I need to do to customize her, which a lot of you don't know, I do wear glasses. I don't need them for really up close. And I don't ever wear them on camera just because of glare. So you probably don't see me in them, but I'll share a few pictures to prove it. And I picked some glasses that I think are pretty close match to mine. So let me get those on her. All right, and I did pop the lenses out of these because, I mean, same reason. I don't want the glare. But that's pretty darn close. And I love that if you get up close, you can see these little freckles that are just super subtle. You know, the smattering over the nose. And in this particular hairstyle, because the hair is coming down, you don't notice, there's a fly, all of the little freckles and details that were put around the hairline. But if somebody ever wants to sell me the new boy, the like swoop hairdo that's available on the CYO line in black, I will absolutely buy it. And then you would see it, right? Because I sometimes kind of have that look with my hair. So, all right, now it's time to get her dressed. Oh my God, she's perfect. She's so perfect. Okay, confession time. I am obsessed with this doll. Like, I can't peel my eyes off of her. And I don't use the word obsessed very lightly, but she is fantastic. Um, I'm going to put all of the contact information for the customizer Jessica in the description. Please consider checking out all of her work, getting a doll that she's already customized, or reaching out to her about a custom project. She was fantastic to work with. And thank you, everybody who's kind of been with me through this whole thing, for your advice after that first video, for your empathy and well wishes after the second one. And I hope that you are just as excited about and impressed by this doll as I am. Again, hope you subscribe and click on that notification bell so I'll see you for my next video. But that's all for now.